Took a lot of hardship just to learn how not to break down and stop it. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact how we.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I will be showing you how to make these bubble-free glittery candy apples. Everything is going to be from start to finish, from washing to putting the glitter on. So please like, comment, and subscribe. First thing you want to do is inspect your apples. You want to make sure there's no bumps, bruises, or blemishes. Then we're going to fill up a pot of water and bring it to a boil. I add 2 apples at a time just to make the process go faster. And I take a slotted spoon and just twirl them around for about 10 to 12 seconds. What we're doing is making sure that the wax is removed off of the apples, because that's what causes your candy to bubble. Before this, I forgot to mention that you want to fill your sink up with cold water, because after we wipe the apples, we're going to place them in the water to stop the cooking process. So all I'm doing is just wiping the apples off, getting as much of the wax off as I can, and just putting them in the cold water. I normally fill my sink up with ice cold water, but I didn't have any ice at the time, but cold water is fine. And what you want to do is let these sit for about a couple hours, take them off, and with a clean dish towel, dry them off, and you're going to let them sit for 24 to 48 hours. As you can see, the apples, the skin of the apples did turn brown, and that is completely normal. That's from the heat of the water touching the apple. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. Here I'm showing you, if you can see the little shiny spots on the apple, that's what we're cleaning off. That's the sap that's been released from the skin, and that can actually cause the candy to break down and get pinholes. So all we're doing is taking a wet paper towel and cleaning that off. The customer requested bling sticks, so I'm just showing you the bling sticks, and I can actually leave a link to those in the description below. And excuse the baby, he was having a fit because I wasn't giving him the cup that he wanted, and I just didn't have time for his shenanigans. And here he is again, still mad. He'll get over it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of paper towel and I'm kind of like shoving it in where the stick is inserted into the apple. What happens is some of the juice from the apple gets released, and what we're trying to prevent is any candy breakdown. So you just take a piece of paper towel and stick it in there and just collect like any of the juice that was released. I am twisting the apples around so that as I'm looking straight on to the apples, it'll look like all the sticks are straight. Putting the sticks in is kind of hard as a beginner, so the sticks will not always be straight, as you can see, but twisting the apples around will make it look like every single stick is straight. So here we are getting ready to make the candy apple mixture, and the recipe for the mixture is extremely simple. It is 4 cups of sugar, 1 cup of karo syrup, and 1 cup of water, and the recipe will be in the description box. Once all of the ingredients have been added into the pot, I just take a rubber spatula and stir it up. You don't have to stir until everything is dissolved. You just want to make sure that everything is well incorporated and there's no sugar on the sides of the pot or anything like that. I use this thermometer here, which I can also link in the description box below. We're going to be cooking the candy mixture to the hard crack stage, which is 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I like this thermometer because it actually beeps when it gets to temp, so you don't have to constantly stand over the pot and watch the thermometer. Here I'm adding in about a tablespoon of white food coloring. The brand that I use is the Hobby Lobby brand. I've never used Wilton's, and I don't like Americolor. Americolor always leaves white specks in the candy, and I'm using Chef Master Sky Blue. We're going for a light blue color. The theme of the party was actually Winter Wonderland, so I only used 1 drop of the light blue, of the sky blue, to get the desired color that I wanted. And you can add as much as you want, but you can never take away, so you always go slow when adding the color. Because it is a specific color blue that I am looking for, here I'm just stirring it up to make sure it is the color that I want it to be. Any other time I would just add my color and let it boil. Next, we're going to flavor our candy mixture, and the flavor that I am using is sparkling wine, aka champagne. It is the Lorenz flavoring oils, and I like using 2 drams. You can use 1 if you choose. I just experimented one day just to see what the flavor would be if I used 2, and it's really there, and I like it. I personally add my flavor when the temperature gets around 280 degrees. That is just my personal preference. I've done it before where I've added it at the end and the candy literally just like did not stick to the apple at all. So I always add it right before. Here you can see that we are at 299. I'm going to turn my stove off. The flashing light is actually saying that it's beeping, so we're going to turn the stove off, and as you can see, we made it to 300 degrees. So now we are going to start dipping. I tilt my pot towards me and just stick the apple in and twirl a couple times just to make sure that everything is fully coated and it is all the way up touching the stick. I pick it up, let it drip, and then I actually scrape the bottom of the apple across the bowl, across the pot a couple times. So when you place the apple down on your mat or on your wax paper or whatever, it doesn't leave a puddle. Once I get towards the end of dipping my apples, the candy always starts to get thick on me, and it makes it hard to make sure that the candy is all the way up towards the stick. So what I do is kind of like a sweeping motion where I like pull the apple back and then like pull the candy towards me. You can see I'm doing it here. I'm kind of like pulling it towards me to make it pull up and cover the whole entire apple. Immediately after I'm done dipping my apples, I fill my pot up with hot water, turn the stove back on, and let the mixture boil. It is not good to throw your mixture down the sink. So we're going to melt it in the water and dissolve it kind of, and it'll be safer to pour your mixture down the sink and clean your pot. But we're also going to be killing two birds with one stone. With the steam, we are going to steam our apples and make the candy sticky. And what this is going to do is make a surface for our edible glitter to stick to. Once the surface of your apple is sticky, all you're going to do is lay a piece of wax paper or parchment paper down so you can catch your edible glitter, and you're just going to sprinkle it on. I liberally sprinkle it on to get as much shine as I can and to make sure that all spots are covered. And then I take a fluffy brush and just brush the excess off. You use most of the jar when you sprinkle your apples on, so that's why I use an extra piece of wax paper or parchment paper to just pour back into the jar while I get my next apple ready. You also want to make sure that the glitter that you're using is similar or the same color as your apple. It'll just make it pop so much more. Here, my fault that the apple is out of frame, but what I'm doing is just taking some of the extra glitter that's on the paper and brushing it on the bottom of the apple so it doesn't stick. And here they are, all glittered and in their glory. They are beautiful. Now I'm going to show you guys how I bag them. I actually just put them in a bag. There's nothing special, but what I do is I kind of twist it just like how I did before. Twist the apples around so that the sticks were all sitting straight up or look like they were all straight. I do the same thing in the bag so that when people display them, they would display them so all the sticks are, they all look like they're sitting straight up. I don't go and put up the treats that I make. The customers actually do. So they don't really pay attention to stuff like that, but I do. So I try to make it, as neat as possible in every aspect that I can. Here's where I'm showing you how I twist the apples just to make sure that, the stick is straight. Then I just twist the bag and wrap the twist tie around, and that's that. here they are, all wrapped and ready to go. Please excuse my old cookie sheet. You know, it is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. I appreciate you guys, and see you next time.